Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is my lovely KTM 1290S. And on this video I'm going to be saying why I bought this beastie rather than the GS, the Multistrada, African Twin, and then you've got like the BMW 1000 XRs. So I do love it, I love it. I don't want to do a too long a video on this one. I've got a few coming out, so for this one I just want to explain why I've bought this. So I used to ride super bikes. I've had loads. I don't want to go mad on what I've had, but since I was old enough to have super bikes, I've had them. You know, I had classics, RD350s, KZ, KR1S, and then up to Gixxer 750s, R1s, Blades, ZX10s. You know, I've just had a whole mixture and loved them. But a bit of my background: I've raced KTM motocross bikes since, I suppose, KTM's from about 1920 onwards then, and I've had loads and loads of them, and I've done enduros and motocrosses on them and absolutely love them. So I am kind of biased to the KTM, but the biggest thing for me is the ready to race KTM situation. They just have attitude, you know, they've got attitude. And so when I decided to not buy another super bike, and I wanted something for me and my wife to travel all over Europe and to in a way the world, and just do lots of exciting adventure riding, which is what this bike is, I wanted something that was going to tickle that fancy. And yes, there's more comfortable bikes, yes there are bikes that can probably go further on the tank, but I wanted a bike that excited me and left me that fizz that you get from a super bike. And I've got friends with all of the above, and they all have their merits. And you know, this has a lot of positives and it has a lot of negatives. So for now, I'm just going to say why I bought it, and you know, and the reason, and not just the reasons, but and what I've done to it. And then on the next video, it's what I don't like about it, and there are a few things, I'll be honest. And then I'm going to show a few more bits on the one after that. So for this one, the main reason I bought it, we did loads and loads of homework, and lots and lots of people either raved about them or lots and lots of people moaned about them. Reliability, yada yada yada, you know, switch gear not very good, you know. Now I have to cross the switch gear, because this switch gear here, now everyone moans about this indicator switch. They say, oh, it's fiddly, I can't do it. Well, I've had lots of bikes and I'm not sure how that and that is a problem. Like, I don't struggle to find it, it's always there. There's a little bit of slack centre, of course there is, but so what? I indicate, I cancel it, I indicate, I cancel it. It's not rocket science. So there's forums whinging about that switch, a switch, and it's so easy. I've not done it once. So maybe it's because I'm a bit old school and I've come from maybe older, not as great kit, because this is obviously, the technology in this is beyond what I've owned. I've never owned anything with active suspension or a TFT digital screen. This is all new to me. And if I'm honest, I can't say enough good about that electronic suspension. Fantastic, blows me away. A situation, for example then, my wife and I were going to Exeter on a back road, and we were coming around quite a fast corner, and we weren't exactly hanging around, and we were quite leant over, and where the lorries had been going around the corner, all the tarmac had obviously pushed to one side, and it had left a big lump. Now, back in the day on a super bike, going over that would put me up the hedge. And I was coming around and I saw it, and I couldn't miss it. And I didn't panic, but I did it wrong. And I tried to kind of deal with it. And it was, we went over it, we wobbled, and we were a bit all over the place. And it was all right. And we come out the other side, and I was kicking myself for kind of trying to make up for something that hadn't actually happened. So we got to Exeter absolutely fine, and I apologised to my wife, because it was obviously may have been scary to her, but she didn't care really, because we were still on the bike when we got there. But then coming back, we went on a different road, and we come round, it was another corner, and we just had to run wide because there was like a dead animal in the road, and went over a cat's eye at a half decent lean angle, and I just internally said, leave it, let it deal with it. And you know what, I felt a thud from the cat's eye. The bike just dealt with it. It was, yeah, this electronic suspension is amazing. It's, for me, an absolute game changer. The way you brake hard and it stiffens the front fork so you don't dive to the bottom. I had a ZX10 that if you really were pushing on and you jumped on the front brakes, they just bottomed out, and no matter how, if you tried to dial it out in the suspension, it made the front too stiff. And this is, yeah, it's amazing. I ride, like, I just go onto the dash and I adjust whether I've got my wife and baggage on or just me, sport mode to get a quicker throttle response, and sport damping to firm it up. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So I know I sound like I'm gushing, and I am gushing because, to be fair, I think she's a beautiful looking bike. If we go round, I think it's what I would call an aggressive, it's almost like an aggressive sports bike. It's still quite sporty, it's still got nice angles, but with the extra, because obviously I've added the extra crash bars and, you know, give you back box and some bits and pieces. I just think it's made it look a bit chunkier and a bit more fun and aggressive kind of thing. I do apologise, it's covered in dust. We just had a bit of a play, but it does come across very well, very. And now I have got the KTM side panniers. Obviously they're not on because we don't need them on. So yeah, I bought this because it's fun. The engine is a gem, you know. It's got that real angry growl, along with the phenomenal suspension. And this is the old one. There is obviously older one. There is a newer one now which is even more advanced. I haven't ridden it, so I can't comment. But yeah, all the others have their merit, but for a superbike rider where I've completely come from, and racing as well, off-road, this fits the bill for my kind of riding, which is kind of a bit more aggressive, quite hard on the acceleration and quite hard on the brakes, and throwing on its side. And I keep getting the centre stand down. I keep apologising to my wife. We've actually flattened the centre stand. I've got rub marks on the corner and rub marks under here where I've flattened that corner there and I've grazed there because it leans like a superbike. It's amazing. You can literally ride it like a superbike. So what more can I say? So for this video, that'll do. I am gushing, but I do love it. So that's my first initial opinions of a superbike rider going to an ADV rider, and I'm really glad I did. And now I don't miss having a superbike because I have the fun of this, but the comfort, and me and my wife can enjoy it as well. So, well, I hope that's just been a bit of fun and a bit of interactive for us. If you've got any comments, chuck them in the comments section, and we read them all. We always answer them all. Like and subscribe. Cheers, guys.